Hey, I'm just taking a second to get my friend on the line here. This is going to be a good conversation, you guys. Hey, we just had a little bit of talking. Oh, there we go. I'm already getting excited. I'm like, yes, come on. I want to put my little thing back on because I liked it. Hey, yay! You got a chance to make it. I'm so glad to see you guys. Come on with all the hearts. You're gonna make me cry. Man, it's so good to see you. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna stop playing with that thing. Oh man, this is good. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Rashida, and I am your dream strategist. And I have my dear friend Leah here, and she is amazing. We dream and talk about this stuff all the time. She's also a life consultant. Leah, just give a little bit. Tell us what you do, friend.
Yeah, I'm a life consultant specializing in nervous system health, trauma, renegotiation, and healing, and spiritual agreements. So if any of those are making your tummy flutter, you should talk to me. That's a telltale sign, friends.
I love it. Listen, if your tummy flutters, that's a good way to know you should make a friend. Come on. I'm really excited. So today, what we're going to talk about is how mindset, I just had a brain fart. Mindset, vision, and routines will help you build your dreams. I did not realize that it rhymed until I said it out loud. So there we are. Yes, mindset, vision, and routines will help you build your dreams. So I'm going to talk a little bit, but if you've got questions, I would love for you to put them in the questions box just so it makes it a little easier for us to track and to be able to answer. This format is going to just be a little bit of a conversation. So if you've got things that you want to add, I would love for you to add it into the comment section. I'm excited as always. It's even more fun when I get to do it with someone because my real energy comes out. It's like flowing right now. I'm like into this. I'm like, oh, this is great. So I'm excited to have this conversation. If anybody's only just got voicemails from me, they're probably like, is she faking when she's this excited? Now you get to see this is me all the time. You know, Leah.
Yeah, fun.
Okay, so to jump in, the question, I talk about mindset and I talk about vision and I talk about routines very often. And I asked in my story, hey, do you actually see how all of this is connecting? Like, does this make sense? And I love that someone was really honest. She was like, no, I don't completely get it. Like, I understand the different parts, but I don't understand how this all comes together to help me build my dreams. And I was like, thank you for being honest. I don't feel offended by that. Like, I want to know. So please know anytime, tell me, ask me a question. I'm going to get excited. It's okay. Just tell me the thing. I'm going to be excited to talk about it and to answer the question, because at the end of the day, I love being able to share some of the resources that have really helped me. And sometimes I just don't know what to tell you because I get excited about it all. So questions help. And, we talk about this all the time. So, I'm sure you'll be adding questions as we go too, but don't hesitate. Whew. I'll take a deep breath.
Wait, a little side story for our friends that Rashida made a sign that said breathe for my wedding. And she stood out in the audience, and every time I thought I was going to faint, I just looked at Rashida and she was breathe.
Hey, sometimes we get so excited, we forget to breathe. I know I do. I get excited like that all the time. So yes, I have to pause and remind myself as well. Okay, so let's get into it. So mindset is all about, what do you believe about yourself so that you can know what you can achieve? Because here's the thing, if you don't believe you can do this, You're probably you're creating a self-fulfilling prophecy from the beginning. Hey, I'm so excited you guys can join. So the mindset behind that though is, who am I and what do I bring to the table? Like, what's my personal value and worth? And in the sessions that I'm helping people through, 9 times out of 10, you're really good at saying what you do wrong. You know, people are used to hearing, you suck at this at work. Hey, ladies, good to see you. You've done this wrong at work. Oh, look at y'all. So glad to see you. You've done this and all of these things that you've done wrong. And here's the thing. We can always grow. But those things stick out on our minds so much more than the positive ever does. So we need to understand, okay, yes, I've made a mistake, but who's the core of who I am, so that I can return to giving away my strengths and actually ask for help in these places where I don't have those strengths.
Yeah.
But then also still really believe that I have something to bring to the table. Hey, I'm so glad that you can join.
Well, so even what you're saying, I hope you don't mind if I interject. Even what
for sure, jump in.
It's like that, like, oh, I do this wrong, or I've done this wrong, or I've done this wrong. I think the flip side of that is more praised within our society, or we might go for it more to say, oh, I did this really well. I do this well. I do this well. I do this well. But just because you do it well doesn't mean it's who you are.
Right.
Well, you can do things well, even in the current job that you're in, but it doesn't mean it's who you are. And so whether you did it wrong or did it right, that's not the point. If you take what you've done and then set it aside and say, okay, well, where's it coming from? Like what's actually here?
Right.
What you do is the fruit.
Right. So then it comes back to, and I actually had this conversation the other day. Well, then what is our actual identity? Well, okay, the character, it's these different parts. Your character of what's growing inside of you, your why do you get up and do the things you do? Like, you have a certain impact, a certain thing that you give to this world. Your values, what are your core beliefs? Those are the things that are the core and what you give away. Hey, Diamond, all of these wonderful people. So, when you can come back and actually know what those things are. Now, here's the thing. I love Simon Sinek. He talks about, especially with our why, but I believe it's with all of these different parts of who we are. Our identity is like this intrinsic thing, meaning it's something that we know, but it's kind of flying around in the back of our mind. It's in our subconscious. It's not something that we've ever brought to the front of our mind. And so because we haven't brought to the front of our mind, we've never allowed ourselves to be intentional with how we use it. But the power is when we use it intentionally. And so when we take this time to bring the core of who we are to the front of our mind, and we can say, I'm an encourager. You can see that as soon as I say that. When I say I'm a visionary, you have no doubt. Yes, that's your character, friend. When I tell you about my values and I tell you about my why, it starts to give you a rounded understanding of who I am and what I bring to this world, right? Yeah. So when you have that kind of mindset, yes, girl, wow. When you have that kind of mindset and you start looking at, well, okay, if this is who I am, how can I live a life that's going to allow me to be fully that, no matter where I go, no matter what I do? Which means now you don't have to just be a teacher. You don't have to just be some position or in some box. Like, you can literally figure out what it is that's going to allow you to be fully you. That's your happy hands, your quiet clap. Which gets me excited.
Yeah, come on.
Because on the flip side, if you don't do that before you start dreaming, you're dreaming about what other people think you should do. Someone says that you should be in this job. Hey girl, someone says that you should live the American dream. Someone says that you need to be in this kind of, your life needs to be this way. You need to have a bigger house. You need to have a bigger car. Yeah. You're going by all of these other things. Hey, rather than living from your own identity. And so we're changing that. We're changing that when we take a step back and we look at who we are first. So now that when you have that mindset, now that you know the core of who you are, now let's talk about vision. Now we're bringing the second part into this equation. Now when you dream, let's dream, what can I do that's going to allow me to be the fullest of who I am? Let's dream less about the stuff that I can buy, the stuff that I can have, or more about how I can be my freest, most thriving, most amazing self that I can be. Right? Man, it changes it.
It changes it. And what's so interesting to me, Rashida, is that it may or may not change the thing that you do buy.
Yeah.
You could literally buy the same, that the thing is not the thing that matters. So if you say it means a lot to me to have X car, I'd be like, how interesting. That's so curious to me. Why does that matter to you? And there becomes this fork in the road where someone's like, well, you know, it makes me the status and the this, like, that I go, oh, I don't think that's actually from you. And perhaps at that same juncture, if someone really knows who they are, they still buy the car, but they because I have this Jeep in my mind. I don't know why I don't have a Jeep. Oh, I like driving Jeeps up rocks because people do that in that place.
Right.
And I'm like, great. I love that you love that. I love that that's so passionate and that you bring that to the table. But I think that's so interesting that the thing isn't what matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the intention and the impact and the mindset behind buying the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it's an expression of you because you're an outdoorsy person, then and you want to drive up mountains, not my thing. But if you want to drive up mountains, then I want you to get that Jeep because I don't want you to fall off in a little Subaru. Or the Subaru might be okay, but the Honda might not make it. So I want you to get the Jeep if that's the expression of you. But I want you to get it because it's the expression of you, not because you're trying to prove to someone else. This is the other thing. Instead of living from this place of proving your worth and your values to everybody else, you know what your value and your worth is from the beginning because you've already put words to it. You've already put words to it. You know what you bring to the table. So now we're dreaming and we're saying 10 years from now. Now here's my favorite thing. When I say 10 years from now, most people are like, I can't imagine tomorrow. What you mean you want me to have a 10-year vision? Here, let me help you. I'm not going to ask you to write it in the chat, but I'm going to ask you to say it out loud to yourself. How old will you be 10 years from today? I'm going to be 48. Oh my Lord, when I say that number out now, it makes me want to cry.
Aww.
Because that number, when you have the number in mind, your perspective of what 10 years from now looks so much different. So now when you start thinking about, okay, what do I want my emotional life to look like at the age of 48? What do I want my finances to look like at the age of 48? What do I want my relationships, my physical life, all 8, there's 8 parts of your life, 8 parts of your life that we're dreaming about, that we're creating this long-term vision about. When you think about that number and you think about all of those areas of your life, what do you want it to look like? Now you can actually start answering that question. And here's the thing. I make it even easier for you because I'm a straight up nerd. I already researched 20 pages worth of questions. All you got to do is go answer them. Hey there, welcome. So now all you got to do is go answer them. And by the time you do this, not only have you taken a chance to step back and look at the dreams and the things that have been brewing in your heart, you can look at them from a 10-year perspective of what do you actually want to build with them. But not only that, what do you want? How does that align to everything that you've already got as your expectations in your life? Hey, I'm so glad you said hi. So now all of these things are starting to overlap and you're starting to see this rounded understanding of where you want to take your life. That is clarity. That is clarity. Now you can say, I know the expectations I have for my life. I know the dreams that I had in my life and I know how they overlap. But here's the next thing. Now you want to know what's the impact that you want them to make.
Yeah.
That becomes the core, the focus of your vision. You have all of these statements of kind of what you want your life to look like in all of these areas. But then what's the core focus? And when you know the impact that you want to create in your life is that you want the freedom to be able to thrive in new ways. You want to be able to master balance of yourself. You want to be able to spend more time with your family. You want to make sure that you can be able to be present in wherever your people are. Now you have a core focus, an actual clear destination, that if the things that you are trying to do in your life, whether it's the things you're buying or the things you're trying to do, if they don't help you do those things, they are not the things that you should be doing. Okay? Yes, all the hearts. So now you've got clarity. I know, right? Yes. Yes. Yeah. So now you've got clarity. Okay. So now we've talked about two parts. We've talked about mindset and we've talked about vision. The third part, routines. Okay. So now you know where you want to take your life. You know that the core of your life is that, I'm going to say, you want to create balance and mastery of self. Now, if you know what you want, you've taken the time to create statements of what that looks like in all 8 areas of your life, financially, all of those different parts. Now you can start breaking down those different parts into goals. Okay, what's the goal that I need to have financially in my life to be able to achieve this level of balance and mastery that I say I want? Okay, so you create those goals in all 8 areas, and those are your 10-year goals. Now you want to break them down to your 5-year goals, and now you've got 5-year milestones. So now we're building up to something, and we know what we're building up to. We're not throwing spaghetti at the wall hoping that we get to thriving, because we've already decided what thriving looks like. We've already decided what's most important. We've already decided what we want from our lives. So now we're building up to that. So we have 10-year goals, 5-year milestones, and then we want to break it down even further. And now you have annual goals. And your annual goals, here's the thing. So many people make annual goals, but what are you making an annual goal for if you don't know what it's building to? You're just building for the fun of it. You're just building because it just sounds good. That's what somebody else did.
No, because my planner only reaches 1 year.
Don't you worry. I got some worksheets for you so you can get all the way up to 10 years. We're going to build big dreams, because here's the truth. A lot of our big dreams cannot be built in a year. They're going to take longer than that.
You better say that again.
Come on.
Patience.
Yes. Ouch. But here's the other thing, when you know where it's going, you don't get so frazzled when things don't move as fast, because you know where you're going. You know where you're going. Yeah, the power of vision and imagination is pivotal to goals. Come on, say it again. So now, so true, so true. I love it. I hear it. So, okay. So now you know where this annual goal is supposed to build to. It's building to your 5-year goals. Now you can build the 1st year goals, the 2nd year goals, the 3rd year goals, the 4th year goals, and they're all building to this long-term vision. Hey, welcome, Zach. So, then you can actually say, I know where this is going. Now it's time to break it. And here's what we're doing. We started at this 40,000 foot level, and then we're bringing it closer down the ground. We're bringing it out of the sky, and we're bringing it right to front of face. Okay. So now we have your annual goals. Let's just go to this year. Again, let's talk about your vision board. If you're making your vision board and you're making your goals, but you don't know the long term that it's building to, where are you coming from with them? I'm not doubting it. I'm not doubting that you haven't picked good ones, but I'm saying you can pick a longer term place that you want to be and actually be super intentional about getting there and actually achieve it. If you know where you want it to go. Come on, girl. I'm glad this is good. So now we got your annual goals. And now you step back and you look at those annual goals, and now it's time to visualize them, like physically visualize them. Now this is the time where you go pull out your pictures, because you know what it's building to. You have your longer understanding. So now your pictures, and here's the thing, pull out keywords that are going to motivate you, start getting your specifics, And you get all of that on your vision board. And now it's really going to help you take not just your dreams, but your whole life to a whole nother level. You're right.
Can I just add, Rashida?
Yes.
Love you. God, I'm so happy that you're my best friend. I'm so happy. What you're saying around this vision board is so beautiful. And what I would also invite folks to try on would be to actually within your body start to feel what it might feel like to achieve these things that you're aiming toward, whether it's a year, 5 year, 10 year. I think the 10 year is really interesting. I do a lot of work with my clients in the somatic and feeling the body, but so beautiful that we can actually feel into what it might feel like to achieve X, and your body comes into alignment. Your body starts going, ooh, okay,
I like that.
Okay, right? And there's hope, and it's rich, like rich cake, but that's healthy. And I love that in combination with everything that you're saying, how much power we actually have in this moment to make those things come true.
Yeah. Yeah. And to feel it in your body and for it to be that rich means that it's not just a hope and a dream. Like you're literally, there's a light bulb. You're chemically coming into belief of your dreams. Come on. And so one of the questions in my survey was like, how do you know that you should keep going? I think that's a good way to know.
That's such a good question.
I think it's a good way to know. I love this.
Well, and how beautiful about the Dreamcatcher framework and about what you're inviting folks into is that it really is circular, because what we're talking about is mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your mindset is grody and gritty and a little dark. My friend, probably you have trauma, but also you're not gonna your circle is broken.
Yeah.
And what you're inviting people into is a whole circle that holds literally the entirety of them, and then says, what does it look like to hold the entirety of you for 10 years from now?
Right. It changes it. I love it. Zuriel Kingdom Collection says, speak it. That's facts. We have been taught what we feel does not matter. And that's a total lie. It is a total lie. And then the Black Sound says, you can see it and feel it. It's real. Exactly. I love when I see my clients get to this point where they're like, oh crap. I can really do this.
Come on.
Yeah, you can. You can. And it gets me so excited. Okay. So now we've broken it down and we're at the part where you have a vision, you have a vision board of all the things you're going to accomplish this year. So now here's the thing that a lot of people skip. We have a really, 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 really great resource at our fingers called the internet.
I love that tool.
When you get down to the point where you say, my goal this year is that I need to learn how to, get an EIN number. Mm-hmm. A lot of the things that are in our dreams are things that we've never done before. Mm-hmm. The internet is the best friend to helping you figure out what are the tasks that you need to do. So your next step for the goals that you have on your vision board is to research them. Mm. Research what other people did so you can learn from their mistakes and you don't have to do the same things that they did. You can take the best of here, the best of there, and you can start adding a little plan. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes you can find someone that's got a really good framework like me. But there's some other things, shameless plug, right? I'm not gonna lie. Mainly because I failed at this. I have this because I failed at it a lot. I was that person where I couldn't find one resource that was going, and this is the thing, in places where you don't have one resource, that doesn't mean there's not a way to move forward. There's still a way to move forward, and I'm going to help you do that too. So whether you have a resource that's going to give you a plan, for example, if paying off your debt is one of those goals, Dave Ramsey has a great plan. With Dave Ramsey, I paid off $69,605 in debt in 2 years. He has a great plan. Use that man's plan. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. He got a good plan. You know what I mean? Don't make it hard. There's other things that are going to be hard. So use the resources. But with that, it's broken down. Hey, welcome. With that, it's broken down into the tangible steps that you can take. Now, here's the next thing that makes a problem. Okay. We start getting an idea of what we need to do. And we either, this is one thing, either we get excited and we start running down the street. And we're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. I mean, it is the best thing ever, but I'm going to need you to slow down. Remember, deep breath. So that's one thing that you could do. Or the other thing that you could do is that you start doing the big things all at once. So instead of taking this elephant and cutting him up in little pieces to manageable baby steps, yes, that part, tangible baby steps. Not only tangible steps, but baby steps. Break it down into manageable steps. If this is something that is going to take you 10 years to build, what makes you think you're going to be able to do it all in one day? You set yourself up for failure right then and there. It's not going to happen. We're researching it so that you can be able to figure out how to understand what are the tasks, what's the whole map of tasks that you're going to have to do. Yes, girl, that's right. Break it up, the craziness, right? It makes no sense. So now we can break it down. We know we have a good idea of what we need to do. Now we start breaking it down. If you think something is going to take you 3 hours to do, at the beginning, let me tell you, it's going to take you 6, maybe 9. So I'm going to need you to break that down into half an hour chunks. And I'm going to need you to schedule that out over some time so that you don't burn yourself out on your dreams. There is nothing worse than getting excited about where you want to take your life and then can't get to it because you don't know how to slow your roll. Ooh, I'm going to stop preaching. I'm sorry. I got excited. I'm going to stop wagging my finger. I just want this for us so bad because it's so important. So when you break it down into these chunks, you have a beautiful, we have calendars. You have an electronic calendar. Here's the thing. You can take something that's going to take you 10 different settings, spread it out over 10 different weeks or even longer than that and say, put it in your calendar. And then when the time comes up in your calendar, all you got to do is do it. All you got to do is do it.
Rashida, can I ask a question of you?
Come on.
I look at a lot of people that say, oh, you know, I'm building this routine, or I'm trying to do this, or I'm trying to do that. And it could be, you know, really pure, beautiful things. Like I'm trying to do X. For most people that I've witnessed, routine is really, really hard. And routine becomes almost like a shame thing, right? There's a shame cycle kind of built around it because, oh, I didn't do it, and or I got to make up because I did this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. What I'm so curious your perspective around is, do you think that when you have a clear vision built around your character and the impact you're going to make on the world, does that make routine easier? And is it perhaps routine is difficult no matter what, but even harder when you're not actually clear about the reason why you want to do the thing in the first place?
Oh, yes. First of all, let's start with that second part. If you build a routine and you don't really understand the impact you're trying to make with it, and you don't have that front of mind, you're going to get tired of that routine so fast. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. It's going to wear you out because some days you're not going to want to do it. But you need to know why you're doing it. So because I know, for example, I've been doing 5 days a week in the morning. If you catch my stories in the morning, I'm doing 20 minutes, 5 days a week working out. Now, here's the thing. Everybody can say, oh, I just need to work out. But I know that my goal is not about so much losing weight, but getting my gut to this place where I'm not having the gut issues that I'm having. We're not even going to go into the details of that. But I know that that's a lifestyle change. That's not just about me working out. It's something that's going to help me get into a better routine. And here's the thing. If I go, and because I travel a lot, if I go to another place if I go, whether it's another country like Costa Rica or another state, if I don't have those kind of routines in place, if I think I don't feel good now, I really ain't gonna feel good when I get there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
there's this balance of, for one, you talked about shame in our routines. There are days when I miss my routine. On my birthday, I didn't do my routine.
But did you choose that?
Exactly. There's a difference. Come on. Come on. And not only that, when you have it written down, you know when you don't do your routine. Now, it should be more so, your routine should be this thought process. Okay, hey, body, I'm getting off track. I'm feeling more stressed. I'm feeling out of whack. Let me check my routines. Maybe I need to get back on the things that help me be healthy, because your routines really should be about putting your self-care on regularity, on a cadence that happens on a regular basis. Because we all want to wait until we're falling apart to do self-care. Let me stop doing that. Stop it. Stop it. Come on.
But see, then that, I mean, it gets back down to to you knowing who you are. Because the majority culture, friends, our majority culture does not want your best.
Right.
They don't. They are totally fine with you running until
yourself into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you know who you are and the worth that you bring to the table, you be like, oh no, I'm way worth more than burning myself out.
Come on.
And then it becomes a why thing, not a I think I'm supposed to do this because I saw a post on Instagram.
Right. Right. It becomes, this is a reflection of who I am. Taking care of myself is who I am. Loving me is who I am. And therefore, I take time to do that first.
Yeah.
You know? And you can create a wonderful cadence around that. Come on, facts. Waiting until literally hanging by a thread, holding your breath so it don't pop. Right? If you ain't said the truth, come on. Right? So if we make these, if we put our routines, again, how do routines help us build our dreams? They help us sustain for the long haul. You can't persist. You can't keep going if you don't know how to take care of yourself. If you don't know how to, if you don't even know how to rest. Some of us, and I'm going to say this has been me. I literally had to take my journal and make a list of these are the ways that I rest. And then I scheduled them. I schedule them, because if it ain't scheduled, it ain't real for me. I just got so much stuff going on, but I love it. Because here's the thing, the other beautiful thing about that, because I scheduled it, when I have a cadence where once a week, my routine is to sit on a Sunday just for an hour. I stop and I set up my schedule for the whole week. I use one of my tools. I set up a realistic week where I know all the things that I need to manage within the week. I know my sleep times. I know when I'm doing laundry. I know when I need to be at work. I know how much rest time I have. I have all of those in an ideal week. Now, here's the thing. That ideal week is my standard, and that's what I used to create my week schedule. But if I don't do that one week, it's okay. The thing is, I know what I missed, and I know how to set myself up for success in that. But I start with that because it keeps me from overcommitting myself, which I'm in the habit of doing too.
Yeah.
So one of the routines that you definitely need to have is a routine where you set up your schedule for the week, starting with knowing what your ideal, your realistic week is. So now, if you know, this is generally how my week should go, because I know where my responsibilities are for my family, my responsibilities are for my job, my responsibilities are to myself, so that I could take care of myself. Then you can say, okay, now I can see how many holes, not holes, that I have space in my schedule in order to plug in that extra half an hour for that dream that you're building.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now you get to see how you can schedule in the time. And the other reason why you need to break it down into manageable tasks, because you're not going to be able to get 5 hours to do it. You got other things you got to do. You got children, you got to love. You got husbands, you got to kiss. You got wives, you got to hug. You got all of these wonderful things. And if you're not giving yourself a realistic span of time to do these things, you're missing it, because we don't want to forsake living our lives and enjoying our families because we want to build our dreams. They all come together. They all come together. I love this conversation that's happening on the chat too. Come on, y'all. They are amazing. So now we're seeing the mindset, we're seeing our vision, and we're seeing our dreams. And now we're starting to see, come on, Rika. Now we're starting to see.
Rika!
I know.
I heard so much about you. I can't wait to meet you.
Now we're starting to see how when we plug in our dreams, we can actually spread them out over a manageable bit of time, and we can build on them. And here's the beautiful thing. If we didn't know where they were going, it would feel like we weren't doing enough, right? It would feel like we had just wasted our time. But that's not the case, because we know all of our different responsibilities, and we know that every chunk is building on the last chunk to get us closer and closer to finishing that goal. So now we're actually using our mindset, our vision, and our routines, plus adding in the different parts of our dreams into our routines so that we can build our dreams. Come on.
And you know what? I can hear this little this sounds like it takes a long time.
Right.
That sounds like it's going to take a long time. And my curiosity for that is, where were you 10 years ago? And what would you have achieved had you started that then?
Right.
And I think that there's so much beauty in what you're saying, because the alternative, friends, is that it doesn't happen.
Right.
And so how much do you actually want it?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you this too. This is definitely a long game type plan. But here's the thing. You've been trying the short game and that ain't been working, right? Let's just be real. It ain't been working. So it's time to try the long game. And I can tell you from the benefits from myself, I remember in 2016, all I knew, the core of my vision was that I wanted to have more freedom over my time, and I wanted to be in a job where I spent most of my time actually giving myself away to people. And so that was the core. That was the impact that I was trying to create. And everything I did in every other part of my life was about building that. That has allowed me to travel to more than 15 different countries, live in visit so many people. I mean, I was there to see my goddaughter get born.
Come on.
Like, these are the things that we miss out on.
Yeah.
Because we haven't put top of mind what's the most important to us, so that we can prioritize it. But when we have this kind of intentionality, we literally can make these kind of dreams happen. Yes, yay, girl. Yes, I was there to see Lori. So this gets me excited. If you guys have any questions, I love how much energy you have. You see, it's just riling us up even more. This conversation gets me so excited, because so many people are kind of skeptical. Oh, let me go back to the time too. Skeptical about how much time it takes, and skeptical, is it realistic that you can actually build your dreams? If you think you're going to build your dreams in one day, then no, it's not realistic. But this is not a one-day type plan. This is a long game. And not only that, the framework is set up. This is the other beautiful thing about the framework. I set it up that when you finish this framework, you will have the tools, you will have the skills, you will have the mindset, you will have all the things to be able to take this dream and walk it all the way through. But not only that, every other dream, and you don't really have to come back to me. If you want to come back to me because you love how we vibe and we get it together, that's great. I'm into it. You see, I love it. I love it. I love when I get to dream with somebody. But you will finish this framework having the resources you need to be able to take your dreams and run with them and feel confident about it. Feel confident about it. There's analysis paralysis. I'm not saying that you're never going to have a moment where you're like, sure, I'm not really sure what to do. But now you're going to be able to take the pause and feel confident knowing, okay, I still know where I'm going, even if the road that I'm walking on right now doesn't have a clear path of what I'm going to. But you still know where you're going. You still know the impact. And that makes it so much easier to stay the path.
I think,
go ahead.
One of the things that you've empowered me to do, in my own life, just by being in relationships. So I don't know. I mean, shoot, if I paid you as my coach, I probably would be taking over the world right now. But I think that there's so much you've empowered me to do. And one of the biggest ones is I really wrestled with analysis paralysis and anxiety. Anxiety of like, what happens when this doesn't go the way that I thought it would go. And I know I'm not the only one. I think that's where a lot of folks' anxiety comes from.
Yeah.
Is something going wrong. And so what you're saying is so real, and that you're empowering someone to say, oh, that didn't go the way I thought it would. Let me pivot and go a different direction.
Right.
But I'm still having the impact that I wanted to have in the beginning.
Right. And that's the beauty of it. This is a plan that's not going to fall apart when things don't quite go the way you think they will. Because here's the thing. It's never going to go the way you think it will. Let me just tell you from experience. It doesn't. I thought I was only going to be in Pittsburgh for until December 15th. It is now, what is it, April, the middle of April, and I'm probably going to be here another month. It happens. But when you know where you're taking your life, exactly, the Black Sam, you get to be okay with change. Be okay with change. This is where, oh, come on. I got two things. You know my favorite meme where I'm talking, where the little kid is on the roller coaster and Holy Spirit is next to him. And Holy Spirit is like, this is great. And the little kid is like, that's what we do. We start getting on an adventure that's on this adventure to get to our dreams, and we are cringing. We're holding on dear tight for our life because we're trying to control it. But when you know where the ride is going, you know where it's going to end up, you know that it's safe, you can actually take your hands off the bar and put your hands in the air and scream for dear life and actually enjoy the ride. It makes it so much better. So much better. So that's one thing. Here's the other thing. One of the main things that stood out for me when this started changing for me was my mindset before. When I got a dream in my mind, it literally was like I saw a cliff and I'd be like, oh, I like that cliff. I'm going to go do that. And I would literally step off my path, run full steam ahead to that cliff and jump off of it and not be prepared any way, shape, or form to actually do that. Honestly, I don't know what you believe in, but if it wasn't for God, man, I'd have died a lot of times because I'd have jumped off a lot of cliffs that I wasn't ready to jump off of. I ain't had no parachute. I ain't have none of my stuff. I was not ready. But in the beauty of that, that's what I used to do. So the switch has now become, I'm on this path and I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. That cliff right there, I think I want to go jump off of that. I like that. I think I could do that, right? So now when I do that, I get my little journal out and I'm like, man, this is a good idea. Let me write this down in my dream journal. Okay, let me keep walking on the path I'm on because I believe in my spirit, my path is going to take me there. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. My path might go this way and it might go left and right. Even though where I'm going is here, it's going to loop its way around. And if I'm patient enough, I'm going to find the things that I need along the way. So by the time I get to that cliff, I'm ready to jump. I'm going to find my parachute. I'm going to find a cliff jumping instructor so I don't die on the way down. I'm going to find some friends so I don't have to do this alone. I'm going to find all of these things I need on this windy path that seems like it's taking me away from where I want to go, but it's actually giving me everything I need to get exactly to where I need to be and have everything I need to jump off that cliff.
Yeah, come on. And when that cliff or that dream involves another human being, guess what? You get to love them really well.
Come on.
Because if it involves another human being and you say, I'm in this situation right now, I have friends that are selling a house and I want to buy it. And they're like, oh, we decided not to sell. That's a cliff I want to jump off right now. But I know that forcing myself over that cliff is not loving them well. I can actually bestow the patience that I have knowing that I'm fully cared for because I know who I am and I know where my life is headed, that I can say, oh, okay, no worries. You know, I know you got a lot going on and I want you to feel comfortable with this decision. So you take the time you need.
Yeah.
That is a very different culture than the, what do you mean you don't want to do this right now when I want to do it and I want to do this, and then you become controlling and not loving.
Right. I love that. I did some research and I asked, like, what are some of the biggest struggles that we have to overcome? And one of them was the fear that when things don't work out as planned, that I have to go back and tell the people who've been rooting for me that I have to change the plan. It adds such a layer of shame and guilt when things don't go as planned. But here's the thing. When you have the people who can love and understand that your journey, and none of our journeys are ever going to go the way that we planned, but they can be a part of it, we can actually support each other to do some amazing things. Can you imagine us all jumping off that cliff together? Man, talk about a show. Talk about a show. And the support that we can lend each other in whatever our dreams are, that is what gets me up in the morning. Come on, A-team. Talk about it being the drain instead of the fountain. Come on. Ooh, child, you're right. Ooh, child. Yes, girl. Listen, don't get me all excited. So this is what the Dream Catcher framework is about. This is exactly what it's about. Hey, I'm so glad you could join. This is about getting you the mindset, getting you the vision, getting you the routines, so that when you break your dreams down into tasks, you're setting yourself up for success and for the long game to be able to build your dreams. Because here's the thing, here's my why. I believe that every single one of us, whether we're on this call or not, we all have something amazing and something beautiful to bring to this world. And if you think of it in the context of a puzzle has so much depth. There's different shapes of the pieces. There's some parts that have a lot of one color and not a lot of other. But when you're separate, it's not that they're not beautiful. They're so beautiful in that. But when you put them all together, they bring a beautiful picture that can never be created on its own. You got to bring all of those pieces together. And to me, that's what it looks like for us to change the world. That's what it looks like for us to impact the world. When every single one of us are in this together, being the fullness of who we are, who God's created to be, your worth, your value, your dreams. All you got to do is get up and live that, and you are changing the world. Oh, come on, let me say that again. All you got to do is get up and live that, and you are changing the world. Oh, yes, girl. Yes, child. All the childs, all the hearts. Y'all, this is what gets me excited. So I'm gonna pause for a second because I've been running. I've been off and running. If you got any questions, I would love to talk to you. I would love to answer them. Because you see, we get excited. We get rolling.
We do this every other Tuesday.
Yeah, we
you and
do.
I.
we really do.
Just decided to
2 hours. Just 2 hours.
Listen.
Yes. Cool. I don't see any questions coming up, but I want to let you guys know. So what's going on? The reason I wanted to do this today, let me see. Ever wonder why the domain always starts with www? Who we are, what we do. Come on, girl. I'm going to need you to say that again. All the likes, All the likes, girl. What chat? I love that. Oh, that's a good one. Who we are? What? Let me can I use that? That's a good one. Oh my god, man! Post it so I can repost it. Man, that's a good one. So here's why we got on this call today. I wanted you to know what is the whole process. What's happening in the framework, and not only that, I want you to have the resources to do this. Here's the thing: you can do this on your own.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work. It's a lot to figure out, and it's not impossible, because if I can figure it out, you surely can figure out. But if you're looking for someone to help you make this a straightened path, if you're looking for the excitement, if you're looking for the encouragement, if you're looking for the accountability, I'm here for you. I have a membership program. It's called the Dream Catchers Elite Membership. It's a coaching membership where you get not only coaching sessions, you get 2 coaching sessions with me a month. I also give you the resources. I'm a straight up nerd. I got so many worksheets. Leah will tell you, I love making a worksheet because it makes it so much easier. All the things you need to be able to not only take this dream, but like I said, once you finish sessions with me, to be able to go and do any other dream on your own. Because here's the thing, it's for me, I do this because I believe in what you bring to that puzzle. I need you in that puzzle because you bring something beautiful to that puzzle. So if you're interested in that, I'd love for you to go head over to my link in bio and check out the website, get some information about exactly all the different, some more information about the framework. I literally gave you the download today. So it's more about the resources and anything else that you want to know. I can't forget one of the most important parts. There is an early bird special. So until Thursday at midnight, if you join the Dreamcatchers Elite membership before Thursday at midnight, you get $35 off a month. Hey, welcome, which is great. It's a great deal. I already try to make this price reasonable because I believe in all dreamers being able to have accessibility to this. Yes, I'm glad you enjoyed the content. Yeah, so I want people to be able to build their dreams. I want this to be accessible. And so this first couple days between now and Thursday at midnight, you can get $35 off for the start of this to be able to do this membership. Any other questions that you have, don't even hesitate. You can do a free consultation. I'm get excited in the call, but you know what? It's great. I can't wait to hear about your dreams. It's going to be a good time. So yeah, head over there, head over to my link in bio, get your membership. If you have any questions, send me a DM, let me know. If you know anybody else who's trying to turn their ideas, turn their dreams into action, and really move into this life of thriving, come on, send them my way. I would love to talk to them, even if it's just to congratulate them, because I love seeing all of you build your dreams. That is literally the core of this for me. So that is everything that I got. I run off. Leah, you got any parting words, any questions, anything? Because you see, I just go. This is great.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For anyone that's listening right now, or anyone that will listen to this, who shouldn't work with you?
Oh, a really good question. Oh, I'm so glad you asked that. So here's a couple scenarios, and I put this on my website too. If you're in a place where you're in a fixed mindset and you're not really in a place where you want to change and you're really in a skeptical heart, you know what? I get it. Sometimes it's just not the time. It's not the place. If you're in a skeptical place, don't waste your money.
Yeah.
Don't waste your money. It's okay. It's okay. So that's one scenario. If you are in a place where you've been going through some trauma and you need to be able to reset your heart, you need to talk to Leah first.
Maybe I'm the first stop.
Leah will help you reset your body and help you release the trauma that's in your body. I am the person who you talk to when you're like, I'm feeling good. I'm set up right. I'm ready to move forward with my dreams. Leah is, let me get you to that place so that you can actually enjoy it. Because if you start running before you fix the trauma will slow you down. Come on, listen, wisdom. Sometimes you can take down the horse trying to make them drink water. Yeah, we ain't making nobody drink water over here. It is all good.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, that's two scenarios. Another scenario, if you're in a place where you're dramatically burned out, I get that. I actually took a year, like I said, to go do missions before I really stepped into doing this entrepreneurial thing. I support you. I'm on your side. I love you. And in all of these scenarios, not just this one, I want you to take care of yourself first, because your dreams are going to go further. You're going to be able to move faster. You're going to be able to enjoy this process more when you've taken the time to take self-care at heart.
Yeah.
Self-care is so important. Yes, exactly.
And I actually could see that last scenario being a tag team between you and I, which we've never done.
Yeah, I know, right?
Where someone may be burnt out, but because they're living with, they're like a puzzle piece that has twisted themselves into a different shape. You're like, of course you're burnt out. You've been holding a position that is not your natural position. It's a different identity. And so I can imagine you're the work, and there's a reason why you got that way, which is the trauma. But I see you helping burnt out people who feel burnt out significantly.
Yeah.
Because you're adjusting them back into who they actually are. It's actually quite easy to live from that place. It's natural.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. It's hard. It is a thing to be. I love, she said, wow, dramatically burned out. And here's the thing. I get it. We understand. But I also don't want to waste your money. Like, I want you to actually get the most out of this. So I want you, we have, again, both of us resources. I really love what Leah does, where she helps you reset your body from this fight or flight that you're constantly in, back into rest and digest, so your body can actually restore. Come on. That's what we're trying to get you to, because when you have that, man, how much higher will you fly? Oh my gosh. So good. I love this. Okay, there's one other scenario. If you are not in a place, if you're in a place where you have a victim mentality, where it's really hard for you to take ownership of your own life, where everything that goes wrong in life is someone else's fault, I understand that probably stems from actually some real victimization that has happened to you. But that is a conversation for you to have with a licensed therapist first. Have that conversation with the licensed therapist that will help you reset, help you heal your heart. Again, your heart needs to be healed before you really can go after your dreams. So again, not that I won't be happy to work with you once things are set up, but again, you're healing your heart is first. And that is so, so important. This was good information. I really appreciate this info. So good. I'm glad. I love that. What a good question, Leah. Thank you for that. I love it. Any other questions?
Where do you think you would be? This is my last question. Where do you think you would be if you didn't go on this journey?
Oh my gosh. That's a really great question. So before this, my career was, and I love this question because I think a lot of times the misconception behind a dreamer is that it's someone who has messed up their life and they're failing at life. And that's not the truth. That is so far from the truth. 9 times out of 10, a dreamer is someone who has actually done a lot of great things. It's just not the thing. It's not the thing that gives them the full expression of who they are. And that's what I was doing. My background is in fashion design. I was great. I was actually really good at it. I had a 13-year career where I was moving up the ladder. I had a great car. I had bought a condo. I lived in different cities. I'd worked for great companies. I had been all around the world. But at the end of the day, I was just surviving. I was just waiting for the next vacation. I was just waiting to get away to this place where I could choose for myself. But then I was coming back to this place where I was locked in again. I felt stuck. And so the question is, where would I have been if I hadn't gone on this journey? I would continue to be stuck. And I love this because Alicia, you know Alicia, everybody else doesn't know Alicia, but she sent me this amazing quote yesterday. I got so excited. I'm going to read it for you. She said, the quote says, most people accept their life instead of leading their life. Oh, let me say that again. Most people accept their life instead of leading their life. There's a difference between just letting life happen to you. And here's the thing. As Leah said before, it might not necessarily be that you do radically different things. It just means that you have intentionally chosen it and you're okay with your decision. Be okay with your decision. That spoke to my spirit. Come on. We can be intentional about how we live our lives. Don't just let life come and smack you in the face. Don't just let it do whatever it wants to you. Yeah. You get to choose. And this framework is all about giving you the opportunity, the steps you need, the framework you need to choose. Yes.
That's so good.
That gets me so excited. Another good question. Where would I be? You know, there was one other thing. It popped into my mind and now I lost it. Oh, I hate when I do that. But yes, I think I've given you the core of everything I had today. I love giving you everything I had. Listen, if I could have given you all the steps in the worksheets, I probably would have did that too, but we'd have been here for a long time. You know I'm into it. You know I'm into it. Oh, I do have one question. And I'm just curious. This is a little bit of a poll. There's 7 different options, okay? So I want you to think, I'm going to read the options to you, and I want to know where you are in the midst of your dreaming journey, okay? So are you feeling stuck and hopeful? That's number 1. If you're a number 1, then you'll write that in the comments. Are you moving, but you're treading water? You know how when you tread water, like your body's moving, but you're not actually moving forward. Are you feeling stuck, but you know that breakthrough is coming? That's number 3. Are you swimming, but you're not going anywhere fast? Are you living some of your vision, but you know there's a lot more to be had? Are you living a life of vision, but you know this kind of stuff will make it easier? Or are you a fish and you just strengthening your fins and swimming along? Where are you on that journey? Like, I know it's kind of hard that's a lot of options, but where do you think you are on that path? I'm curious.
I'm gonna give my answer. I'm swimming, but I'm slow. Like, swimming through honey.
Yeah. And girl, it's hard. Honey, look, honey ain't nothing. Honey sticks too. It ain't nothing to really go.
I just opened my mouth.
Right. I love it. Ashley said she's feeling a 3. She's feeling stuck, but breakthrough is coming. Come on. Feel that, girl. Breakthrough is coming, girl. It's coming. Zarel said, I'm like a part 5 and a part 7. I done jumped. I love that, girl. You done jumped off that cliff. I feel that. So you're in between. I'm living some of my vision, but there's still more to be had. And I'm a fish, and I'm just strengthening my fins. Come on. Keep going. You got that. And then Rika said, I'm living some of my vision, but there's more to be had. I love this. I love this. All of you guys, keep swimming. Keep swimming. Ashley, breakthrough is coming. Vision is there's more to be had, Rika. There's more to be had, Zarel. Man, this is I just get so excited about your dreams. It is happening. Here's the thing, right now, your whole brain, the synapses that are happening are like,
come on.
I really can't believe this. Your whole being, your whole chemistry is like, listen. I'm coming into alignment that we can make this happen. And I believe that for you. I really believe that for you. It's been so good. So good talking to you guys. Man, I don't even know what else to say. You got anything else you want to say? I'm so glad you helped me here because you see I beat a rain down the street.
I just love you. I will be here for you anytime.
Yes. Thank you for doing this with me. It makes a difference. I mean, this was fun. This was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for coming to join me. It was so nice getting to talk to you like this. I hope that if you know anybody that this can help them, take all the things you can from this. I want you to get all the value from this right here, right now. Enjoy it all. Because at the end of the day, it really is for me about you getting your dreams, and I would love to help you. And if that doesn't work for you, that's fine, but I'm rooting for you no matter what. Yes. Okay. Well, then that's it, girl. We done gone a little bit over an hour. That felt good. It didn't even feel like
we
were running with it.
Fast. Our link is in our bio.
Yes. Thank you. Link in bio. Get some more information. Don't forget about the early bird special, $35 off. If you get your membership started by Thursday at midnight. And yep, if you got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I cannot wait to talk to you and work with you. All right, you guys. I love you. Yes, thank you. You're
Rika,
welcome. So glad you came. I know, right? I can't wait for you all to meet each other. Y'all have a good night.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.